Hi everybody, Jazz here. Per your request, from your wonderful input that you provided, I'm bringing you a Like It or Spike It episode. Nowadays, between the increased numbers of programs that are on TV, pay cable stations, and even streaming services like Amazon Prime and Netflix, there's just so many programs to keep up with. Myself, I find it very hard sometimes just to keep up with half the things I want to watch. So what ends up happening is I have just a bunch of stuff stored up and queued up on my DVR, or I end up, purchasing an entire season on Amazon Prime or something. But essentially what ends up happening is I have all these programs that by the end of their season or mid-season, I still haven't watched yet, or I'm still waiting to catch up on. Now, there's a few shows that are really important to me. Things like The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Doctor Who. Programs like that I definitely watch on a weekly basis. Supergirl, The Flash, and of course, Arrow. Anyway, those are just programs I love. I love them so much, I just have to watch them on a weekly basis. What's happened, if you're anyone like me, is your DVR now is nearly full. You've got to find a way to clear off some space, and you just really need to watch some stuff that you got queued up. Crap really just stacks up fast. So what I did was I used part of my holiday time. I have some extra time off. I'm using part of my holiday time to catch up on some of the programs. Now, there's programs that look intriguing in the previews, but they're not ones I'm familiar with. So what I do is, especially in their debut season, I'll just queue up the whole season and then decide sometime when I've got some free time, just try it out and see if I like it or not. And of course, if I like it, I have all the episodes queued up. One of the shows that I ended up queuing up to try later is FX Network's The Bastard Executioner. There's so many Game of Thrones knockoffs right now. It's such a popular thing to have a medieval period type of series, especially if there's any magic or any other kind of supernatural aspects to it. The Bastard Executioner is a program that refreshingly doesn't try to be Game of Thrones. It tries to be more authentic in a historical sense. It is actually a real gem, to be honest. I was very pleasantly surprised when I started watching it. It may lack the higher production values of Game of Thrones. I mean, they don't just have $1 billion they can spend on each episode, but it's done to high enough quality that it's a believable looking medieval atmosphere. The costumes, the set designs, all have an authentic feel. Now, the story takes place in a small northern Welsh province during the 14th century reign of King Edward I of England. Like Game of Thrones, there are layers within layers of competing plots within subplots among the central characters. The program is filled with mature themes and scenarios, including very dark and edgy situational violence, complete with the barbarism and gore surrounding both hand-to-hand combat and acts of torture that are conducted by the executioner character. In a nutshell, the program tells the story of a warrior, Wilkin Brattle, who along with his peers seek revenge on the butchers who killed their families in a wanton raid on one of their villages, at the behest of a cruel duke of the area that's under his control. Now, that might sound like a pretty cliched scenario, except that it's definitely not. It took the first 3 episodes before I was fully immersed in the characters and their subplots. However, by episode 4, the intrigue was palpable and engaging. The plot twists and turns definitely kept me guessing. This is not a story by the numbers script. It's not predictable. It's not in any way, shape, or form routine. Very little is what it seems from the early episodes, and none of the characters end up being precisely how you perceive them from the beginning. The central characters are definitely rich and multi-layered, each with their own unique, intriguing backstory. Once I went down the rabbit hole with them, I was simply blown away by how great the writing and character development was on this show. I mean, the cast does an excellent job portraying their characters, especially Lee Jones, who's in the starring role as Wilkin Brattle the Warrior, who goes under the guise of being an executioner to get closer to the people who conducted the raid on his village. And then, oh my gosh, Stephen Moyer. He portrays a central character, Castellan Milas Corbett, who serves the Duchess of the territory. Man, this is an amazing actor. Stephen Moyer does a fantastic job as Corbett. Between Lee Jones and Milas Corbett, those two actors alone have to pull almost triple duty with the complex roles they portray. It's like machinations within machinations. It's really impressive, to be honest. Okay, they do an amazing job. Now, in addition, I thoroughly enjoyed Danny SAPANI, who portrays Berber the Moor, and then Timothy Murphy as Father Ruskin. Both of those characters are much more than you expect from the start. Most of all, there are characters in this show that start out somewhat intriguing, and maybe a little mysterious, but quite frankly just blew me away by the end of the season. Namely, KATEY SAGAL as the mysterious Honora of the Elders, and this ominous protector called the Dark Mute. He's portrayed by an actor named Kurt Sutter. Listen, if for no other reason, those two actors did an amazing, impeccable job with their characters. So, in the end, The Bastard Executioner just surprised the hell out of me. It's one of my favorite shows now. I really enjoy it, and I can't wait for season 2. It's going to be fantastic. So, like it or spike it? Definitely like it. Hell yeah, I love it. It's great. It's an awesome series. I was pleasantly surprised. This is something that you definitely will want to try if you like good medieval drama, historically set in the medieval period. It's just well done. I have to say, this is a gem. This is one of those pleasant surprises that come along, unfortunately, not too often nowadays. I still have a hankering for some medieval drama, so I'm going to give a BBC production called The Last Kingdom a try. It's queued up on my DVR right now, and it looks pretty interesting too. I haven't read any reviews about it, but maybe like The Bastard Executioner, it'll end up being surprising in a really good way. I'm telling you, Bastard Executioner, definitely a series you want to try out. If you like medieval drama, if you wanted something that kind of fits that Game of Thrones niche that's left wanting in your life, you'll definitely want to try it. FX did a great job with this program. The acting is really, really good. Okay, that's all the time I have for now. So for now, and until later, enjoy life, be kind to those around you, and happy reading, and happy binge watching. Peace.